Okay, good morning, beautiful people. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing very well. I thank you for joining me today as I sit with you, or if you're not sitting, whatever you're doing, if you're just going with the flow, you're having coffee with Miss Coco, and I'm having my cup of coffee this morning. And if you hear that, that is the sound of me drinking my coffee. See, that's the sound of a good brew. So, today I want to talk about speaking. I want to talk about being quiet. I want to talk about being yourself, even if it challenges other people, even if people see you as somewhat controversial. Is that the word? Controversial. Let's make sure that I'm saying it right. I like to see myself as articulate, but I'm not articulate with every word. Sometimes I can't say a word. Controversial. You know what's controversial? The fact that stuff came out about Balenciaga and people are still toting those bags. I get it. You spent your money. I get it. But that's not what we're talking about today. You spent your money on those shoes that look like socks. I know. I know. I know. I'm not really into name brands. It's not that I won't wear them, but it's like one of the reasons. There are a few reasons. There are not a lot, but one of the few reasons that I don't really jump hard on name brands, authentic brands. I rather wear what you would call off brand is because a lot of times there are some dark truths when it comes to wearing authentic brands. Yes, the quality is nice. Yes, you have status from wearing such a brand, but you quickly find out the real meaning behind a lot of clothes that you see people wear when it comes to high fashion and, like I said, wearing name brands. But I will say, when I do wear name brands, I don't like wearing the logo. I don't need to prove to you. I don't need to prove to you that I'm wearing Ralph Lauren. I don't need to prove to you. You don't need to see it. You get close enough to me, you can feel. You'll feel. You'll feel the polo. You'll feel. You'll feel the Victoria's Secrets, whatever. Right? You don't need to. You don't need to see the label. I wear a lot of off brands, and a lot of times people say, "What is that?" And 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna tell you just the proper wearing something from Walmart. All right, I just style it like it's Gucci, you know. So, but people want you to be quiet. They always want you to be quiet, and I come to find that a lot of people want you to be quiet because they're not doing something that you're doing, or they're doing something that you're not doing that is wrong, and they want you to shut up about it. Usually, when you talk and you're saying something good and you're saying something that might be a threat, that's when they want you to be quiet. Because, see, if you was talking, if you was speaking, and you weren't saying anything that wasn't of substance, people would just let you babble and talk all day. They would not even care to tell you to be quiet. A lot of people want me to be quiet, but are you going to want me to be quiet when your spouse is in my DMs? Are you going to want me to be quiet when your significant other is asking me to be their glorified mistress? Are you going to want me to be quiet then? Because I have morals and I don't do things like that. But understand that when it comes to people like me, because I'm not the only one that carries themselves like this, that has a demeanor like this. And you know, one of the things that I would say, I think that when it comes to me, I don't know about anybody else, but I could just imagine that I think a lot of people look at me. Maybe I look a little stiff. I will admit I am a little stiff. When people see me, I think they feel like I'm a chump. But then when they get to know me, they see that I'm not a chump. And if they get to know me even more, I'm cool, I'm down to earth. But you're not going to see that right off the bat, because I am the type of person, because I've learned from my past and my experiences, that I don't have anything to prove to you. See, I'm not living for you. I'm living for God. And like I said in the previous video before, there's no cliche when it comes to that, when it comes to my relationship with the Father, when it comes to my relationship with God. I have nothing to prove to you. When it comes to my faith and the things that I practice, I do believe in the afterlife, and I am not trying to do all my living when it comes to the things of this earth. I am not trying to have my life motto be the good life, living the good life, because for what I believe in, my life hopefully will extend beyond this life on earth. And so I cannot live for you. I cannot be quiet for you if you tell me to be quiet. If God wants me to not talk, if there are people who are used by God, who are wonderful tools of the handiwork of building God's kingdom, and they are sent in my life, and I would know, because God will let me know, and I would know when they are not that. I would know when they are the enemy. I would know when they are shady. I would know when they are not for me. If there are signs, if there are people, if there are such things that are positive that are put in my life that will speak to me or let me know, hey, it is not the time to talk about this, don't speak on that, then that is what I would do. But I'm not going to be quiet for anyone just simply because you feel some type of way. A lot of people who know me, you don't really know me, you just know of me. So I just I'm just not going to. I'm a stubborn person. I'm a stubborn person. I've been through a lot, and because I've been through a lot, I try to carry myself in a way where I do not like to live as a victim, because I feel like that's what the enemy wants you to do. When you go through something that's tragic, when you've been through a lot of things that are unfortunate, the enemy wants you to dwell into your sorrow, into your grief, into your trauma, into the issues that you need to heal from. Maybe you heal from them and the enemy wants you to revert back. Like I said before, you don't have time because you're trying to move forward. And a part of you moving forward is you walking into your purpose. Your purpose is for you to grow from such things. And one of those things that you should grow from is living in fear. Are you going to be scared of things? Are there going to be things in life as you move on with your life and you go forward that you're going to be afraid of? Sure, absolutely, of course. But you still have to go. It's not that you won't have fear, but you still have to move in boldness, even when sometimes you're shaking in your boots, because God is going to be the one backing you. God is going to be your father. I say God is the father for me. I know he's the father for a lot of people, a lot of believers, a lot of people who believe in the same faith that I believe, whether we believe in different views. I am not orthodox. If you're not understanding that or you don't see that already, but nevertheless, I do have a relationship with God. And when it comes to my salvation, I search my salvation with fear and trembling. I don't look to someone to tell me how I should have a relationship with God. Do I take suggestions? Do I let certain things and people be a guide in my life when it comes to my relationship with God? Of course. But I take everything with a grain of salt, with the advice that is given to me, because they're not living my life. And even with the things that I say, Jessica says, Miss Coco, because that's who I am drinking this coffee. You'll see me drinking this coffee this morning. And when you hear the sound of a good brew, I want you to know that even with the things that I say, you are not to take everything that I say and you go run with it. You think with your own mind, and even the things that I'm saying, even though I have good intentions and I mean well for you with the advice that I give you and the knowledge that I am trying to present to you, you have to use your own mind. You have to use your own free will, and you make the decisions in your life that is best for you. And hopefully that you have a relationship with the Heavenly Father so you can make good decisions that are best for your life, especially you being a leader, whatever it may be, just simply in your life, your family, your business, wherever you go, whatever endeavors that you choose to pursue. You have to make the decision that is best for you. If the decision for you is to speak on how you feel, what you think about a thing, then you speak, my brother. You speak, my sister. If the decision for you is to be quiet, that this is not the time now, or you don't want to speak on the subject matter at all whatsoever, then that is the decision for you. I just I just don't I don't know. A lot of things are weird. Like when people watch you, they watch you and then they never say anything. Some of the people who watch you are intrigued, but they never say anything. They just watch. I know some people that know me that know that back in the day in my past that I was very shy. But I will tell you today, speaking now with the person that I am today, I was shy for a lot of reasons. And one of those reasons was because of fear. And also me staying in a child's place. Fear and staying in a child's place. But now, I'm grown now. I can't stay in a child's place. I had to grow. So, here I am. I understand the consequences. Okay? Do you understand that most of the people in the Bible, they didn't make it? Okay? They didn't make it. So, to get persecution, to get talked about, to have people talk to me crazy, not everyone's going to like what I say, but I really try not to focus on that. Do I focus on it sometimes? Yes. And I try to focus on it in a decent manner, whatever that may mean for the day. But I try to focus on the people who are for me. That when I'm lifting people up, people are giving me something back that lifts me up, because I'm a student. I learn from people. I don't have a degree. I'm not in school. I'm not a professional. I'm not all that. Most of my lessons in life, I learn from people. When it comes to the wisdom, I learn a lot of my wisdom, quote unquote wisdom, knowledge, whatever you have it, from relationships. So, I understand people are not perfect. I'm nowhere near perfect. But just because I have boundaries, just because I have standards, just because I know that you are not right for me, just because I know you're not my cup of tea, as I know that I'm not your cup of tea. I'm just supposed to let you run all over me, especially in the back, especially when it comes to being in the background. I know you do not want me to speak. You think I'm a fool. You think because I speak on so many things that I speak on, that maybe I might speak on things that don't put you in a good light. Okay? I'm not stupid. Okay? Just because I talk about a lot of things, there are a lot of things that I do not talk about, because it is wise, it is advisable for me to not talk about such things. So, you look at me, I think you think I have my head on my shoulders. I would like to think I have a good head on my shoulders. I think a lot of people think that. I know people think I'm a little weird. I know people think that I'm a little quote unquote off. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that it speaks to their demons. I think that they call me weird or corny or whatever because I'm not the average bear. I'm not going to do what every woman does when you give me a compliment. I'm not going to act a certain way just because you tell me to jump. I'm not the type of person that's going to be like, how high? I'm not the type of person where if you take a W from me and I get an L, you think you may win today, but I'm just saying, you picked the right one or you picked the wrong one. However you look at it, it's like the same thing. Do you see the glass half empty or do you see the glass half full? Okay. I'm not jealous of anybody, but a lot of people are jealous of me. I don't have anything. I don't have anything for you, in my opinion. I don't have anything for you to be jealous of. You shouldn't compete with me because I don't compete with you. I only compete with myself at the end of the day. I would say that the reason that I do that now, compete with myself, is because in the past I competed with other people, because this is life. And when you don't know any better, sometimes when you're trying to get ahead, you think that is the right thing to do. But when you have a relationship with God and you talk to God every day, you get the understanding that God put something inside of you. So you have to work on you every day so you can actually wake up and see what God has for you, so you can improve upon that, so you can grow. No need to compete with other people. You cut off the things that you need to cut off within yourself so new life can form within yourself. Fruit. So I don't have time to compete with anybody else. I try to help people all the time. That's just in me. And I'm I'm an overgiver, and I'm trying to work on that, because that's not really a good thing if you really look at it. Overgiving is not a good thing, because it puts you into a position where you start to deprive yourself because you're overgiving to situations and people, and then you make people out of thieves, and then you don't have anything left for yourself to grow upon. And then everybody around you is expanding, and then you want somebody to be there for you, and then you wake up one morning and you realize that you're alone and you're depleted. You're the one that chose to give all of that. They didn't ask, but look, since you're giving it out, why not? You know, that's something that I have to work on. But with me working on that, I also have to accept that when I say no, or I have boundaries, or I have standards, or though I say a lot, I still like to have privacy in some sense. I know I'm not going to have, privacy in a lot of aspects with the things that I'm doing when it comes to this, but there are gonna people who there are gonna be people who are mad. There are gonna be people who feel some type of way, and I have to accept that, because this is what I'm doing. You don't want to overgive. People were used to you overgiving. Now you're different because you're transforming, because you're trying to grow, because you're trying to be a better person than you were yesterday, and people want you to stay the same, because whatever trait about you that was not so good that you're trying to work on, it benefits them. So they're going to have a problem with it. That's just human nature. Okay. So I don't, you'll never satisfy people. I can be quiet all day. I remember I had a moment like, oh, I'm just going to be quiet. Then I'm just going to put pictures up. People have a problem with the pictures. Not even speaking in the pictures. Now you have a problem with the pictures. Why? Because the pictures look nice. But you're not going to say that. I don't want you to put the pictures up because the pictures look nice. Because the pictures, even though I'm not talking, they're still speaking to your demons. All right? So we're born in sin. We all have demons. We have to fight. Look, I had to fight my demons. Sometimes my demons want to knock on my door and talk to me, and look, I tell them to go to hell. I tell them to go back where they came from. Go back where they came from. See, Some of y'all problem is that y'all sit down in the morning, y'all have coffee with y'all demons. Y'all smoke cigarettes with y'all demons. Y'all hit the hookah and roll up blunts with y'all demons. You're sitting down drinking Johnny Walker with your demons. But when I try to keep myself grounded and stable and I speak up and I try to flee from evil, so the demons that I fight with every day don't try to overtake me, your weakness is disturbed by my strength in that. And so the only thing you use when it comes to what you need to do about your actions is speaking up, telling me to be quiet. So it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Y'all want me to be quiet about a lot of things. You want me to speak up about stuff that everybody is saying that don't make any sense, but then you want me to be quiet about a lot of things because I'm going to say things that are not going to cater to your feelings. I'm going to say things that are not going to, rub you on the head or pat you on the back and tell you that a boy. Because don't nobody do that to me. And I think you know now, by now. I think people think like Jessica Hill, Miss Coco is Hill right now. Whatever you want to call me, you know what I say. Call me whatever you want to call me. Just make sure you do it with respect. Because I will respect you, but if you don't respect me, then you're not going to get a slither of my respect. I'm a very cool person when you get to know me. But I've just had to deal. I'm a no-nonsense person. Not for the most part, but a lot of me is a no-nonsense person because I've had to deal with a lot of things that don't make any sense. And people end up being successful and living their life off of things that don't make any sense at the expense of people who would like to progress but can't because they're not allowed to speak up for themselves, because they're walking around with their back bent, being stools for people who be quiet about everything, and then the only thing that they use their mouth for when they do speak is things that are cliche and that don't make any sense. So it is what it is. You think I don't know, it's just almost stupid stuff. I'm trying to be nice. Stupid stuff like, oh, Jessica talk too much. No, I don't talk too much. I just say things that you don't want to hear that maybe you need to hear. I'm not going to say you need to hear it, but maybe you need to hear it because you're speaking a lot when I say certain things about certain things, and then that's the only time you want to speak. That sounds like a hit dog. A hit dog will holler. That's what the old people used to say. So I need to learn how to not be so passionate about everything. I need to learn how to just sit down sometimes and speak a little less, even though I don't say a lot. I could say things, but even though I'm quiet about a lot of things, I could be quiet a little more, I guess. But me me decreasing that, that's not something that you're going to weigh on the scale. That's something that I'm going to do. I'm going to figure out what percentage that I need to decrease. So yeah. You talk about defending yourself a lot. You don't talk a lot about people doing drugs. I'm not saying that smoking weed is wrong. I don't have a problem with people smoking weed. I don't have a problem with people smoking marijuana. But but the thing I have a problem with when it comes to recreational activities is the moderation. People are not using moderation. You're not using moderation. And then I don't think that it's I don't think that it's for everybody, because a lot of people have underlying mental issues, and like I said, I don't think that it's for everybody. Then you want to start blaming tragedies and things that are very unfortunate that are happening in society, and then you want to blame it on other things, but you won't blame it on entities. You won't blame it on substances. You won't blame it on traits. You won't blame it on behaviors. And at the end of the day, because you feel some type of way, because you're in your feelings, because you feel some type of way, because you're in your feelings about what other people are doing, okay? The thing is, you're going to speak up. You're going to speak up, and you're going to get those things taken away from those people that you have certain ill feelings about. And it's not that I don't understand. I understand very well. And I'm not saying you're wrong to feel the way you feel about certain things that are happening and why people get to do what they do. But you have the same right to do what they're doing, but it should be the way in which you go about things. A lot of things I have a problem with is a lot of people do things with their feelings, and then everybody wants to be quiet about things when it comes to the actions and the solutions that need to be done. You take away something from somebody else because you're in your feelings. Guess what? You're next. They're going to take away the same things from you. And then then you're going to get to a point where you're not going to even be in a position to have the feelings that you feel. You're going to be numb to it all because they're going to tell you what to say. They're going to tell you what to think. They're going to tell you how to dress. They're going to tell you how to raise your kids. They're going to tell you even if you can have kids. They're going to tell you where you can live. You're letting your feelings take over things. And in my opinion, that is why you want me to be quiet. So I have feelings, but I don't express them the same way that you do. I am passionate about the things that I speak about, but I feel like I'm logical. You know, let people speak, let people talk. Even if you don't agree with them, whether you agree with them or not, let people talk because that's how you can see who people are. Then you, for yourself, you can make the decisions that you need to make when it comes to how you want things to be in society. because you can see what people say, you can see what people do, let them be, and you can make the decisions for yourself about how you want to interact with them. But if you ban people and you tell people that they cannot talk, you tell people that they cannot speak about certain views that they have, certain thoughts that they have, the things that are on their mind that they wish to express, you uh, say you're voting and you tell people to be quiet, you're going to be stuck with certain decisions that will be passed in the 11th hour because they're just going to be quiet. And then when you're sleeping at night, they're going to pass the vote through. They're going to be quiet. You're going to vote for them because they didn't say anything. And then you're going to wake up in the morning with new laws and orders that don't benefit you because you told people to be quiet. And they said, okay, I'll be quiet. But when you go to sleep at night in the 11th hour, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. I won't talk about it. I'll just do what I'm going to do. So, I mean, you're going to do what you want to do. But don't tell me to be quiet. I don't tell you to be quiet. You say a lot of things, not everybody, but the ones that I'm talking to, if it doesn't apply to you, you know what to do. But you talk. I let you talk, even if I don't agree. I don't try to, conjure up a campaign to block your speech with the things that you say that don't make sense to me. I might counter it with what I feel, but I don't tell you to be quiet. You have the freedom to speak, because we're getting to that point. Last time I thought that this a free country. Yeah, right. So you get to speak, you get to say what you want to say. I'm going to speak. If I want to be quiet, I will be quiet. If I want to talk, I will talk. So, I love you. God loves you too. Until next time, darling, be you. Be great. Be good.